Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ife Artistry. If this is your first time seeing my videos, you are highly welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always dropping by. May God bless you. Okay guys, so in today's video I'm going to be working on my bride. Okay, so she's my bride and we have to get her ready for her, for her wedding stuff. Okay guys, so I started by cleaning her face with a micellar water and the wipes. We clean the face to remove every hidden dirt from the skin, because you wouldn't want to be working on a dirty canvas. You have to clean and remove dirt, because dirt can ruin your makeup during the day, just like clearing the bush before you begin to work. Yeah, that's how the face is. Clean the face to remove dirt. Okay, so after doing that, we dried with a fan, and then I have to go over to moisturizing her skin. So I'm using the Jaydriz moisturizer. This is the perfect moisturizer that I use for my brides. Yeah, that Jaydriz is one really nice moisturizer, and very hydrating. You place that on the face to hydrate the skin, because you want the face to be really hydrated. The skin, of course, you wouldn't want to work with like a matte face. No, it's not going to help your makeup to last. But when the face is hydrated, your makeup can last for a very long time. Okay guys, so I placed that there and I blended well, and after blending, then we move over to, I use the Merak skin prep, because I will have to control any sweat that might actually come out from her face during the course of the day. And after that, I move over to my pore primer, the Becharm pore primer. I use that on her T-zones, the places she would really, or rather, produce oil, the places that produce oil. And this her brow area, I like to mattify that place, because like the brows, I wouldn't want to see any shine on the brows at all during the day. Okay guys, so I'm equally going to be mattifying a lot of places just like that. And after that, I use my Kiss Beauty setting spray to spray and like lock in everything I've done. This is a step that I really love to do. Like, I spray on the face when I'm done with putting on the products, like the skin prep products. Okay guys, so I move over to the foundation. I'm using the Huda Beauty foundation, the Nars foundation, and the Jaydriz Cosmetics foundation. And these three foundations are really creamy. You can see how like lightweight they are on her skin. Like, I'm going to be leaving their names on my description. You can see, like, I love working with this foundation, this product, because they're very lightweight. The Nars foundation is almost like water, and the Huda Beauty foundation is a bit thick, not really that thick though, and the Jaydriz foundation is as well very lightweight. Okay guys, so you would want to be working with lightweight products, especially when you're working on a dark skin. You don't want to go in heavy. Okay guys, after blending everything into her skin, I go over to the concealer. I'm using the Yanga Beauty concealer in the shade 03. I don't know if it's 03, I think it's SMC3, I don't know, but it's number 3 of their foundation. So I'm using that very shade. I'm just using it to highlight her face. That is the lightest shade I'll be using, because like she's dark skinned, I wouldn't want to go in with any light product on her face. Okay guys, so after placing this the way I want, I go over to Zikel Cosmetics concealer. The Zikel Cosmetics concealer in the shade Zikel Cafe. That is actually darker than the first concealer that I used. So when I place it on the face as well, I place it in the outer part, because of course she's dark skinned, and I wouldn't want to go in with any product that is really light on her. So after placing that, I begin to blend with my beauty blender. Okay guys, so the beauty blender that you would want to use in blending her face, in blending the concealer, should be damp. Like, you should damp it on water, inside the water or anything, and then just press out and make sure that it's really wet. There should not be water in it anyway, but you should just damp it and then press it and remove the waters. That's the best way. Okay guys, after that, I begin to blend and blend and blend, and then that is it. After blending the places, I left some products in the under eyes, because I would want to have coverage when I come back, so I left it there, and I have to go and add some colors to her face using my Becharmageless cosmetics lip stains in the shade, the red shade and the pink shade. I really don't know the names of the shades though. So I used the two of them. You can see the way I used it, and I'm using that to, you know, create a blush on her face, just adding some warmth and some beautiful colors on the face. Okay guys, so when I was done doing this, I didn't know why I didn't do contour, but I think it's because she's really dark and the contour might actually not really make sense. So I was going to go over and do the powder contour afterwards. Okay guys, so when I was done, I just came back and began to blend again the product that is on her face, like, sorry, the concealer that I left there for a while. So when you leave the concealer for a while and you go ahead and do other things, when you come back, it's going to be a bit thick, tacky, and then it is going to give you more coverage. That's just the idea. Okay guys, so after that, begin to set the under eyes that I just blended with a beauty with my setting powder. That is the Merak Cosmetics setting powder. I forgot the name in a while. So the Merak Cosmetics setting powder in the shade Cinnamon is one of my favorite setting powder, and this shade goes very, very well for dark skinned. Honestly, if you've not really had or used this powder and you're in Nigeria, you know you are missing something. Okay guys, so I'm just go ahead and set the setting powder, just set, and set the under eyes, set her jaw, just any place I placed the highlights, any place I highlighted, I placed my concealer. I'm just going to go ahead and set it now with powder, and I'm going to be I'm light-handed, sorry guys, when I'm setting, because you wouldn't want to really go hard on the face because there's product there, remember, and it's liquid, and I'm using powder for crying out loud. If you know, place something on the face like with force, it might actually start shifting or move something, you know, you wouldn't want that. Okay guys, so when I was done with setting the under eyes or the highlighted areas, I have to go ahead and now set the rest of the face, because yeah, I set the highlighted areas with that setting powder, but the rest of the face I'm going to be using my powder palette to, you know, do that. So I think I'm using the Jaydriz. Okay, no, this is the what's the brand? Oh gosh, I've forgotten the brand name, guys. I've forgotten. So I'm just using a powder palette anyway. Like, you can use any compact powder and do this, and you are good. Honestly, you are good. So after setting, I set everywhere. I set the whole of the face, just using the powder shade that should be there. If you are like, I try to match the powder with her body, and then the contour, I just use a darker shade of the powder to set the contour areas. Okay guys, you can see as I'm doing that on the nose contour as well, I'm just trying to equally set that place. Okay guys, so after that I will have to go over to adding her blush, because of course I used, remember when I did the cream blush, so I have to equally go back and do it again with the powder now. So for the powder, I'm using the Juvias Place eyeshadow palette in the shade Zulu. Using the burnt orange there and the red shade, because she's dark skinned, so I'm going to be adding a little bit of the red shade. Okay guys, so after that I have to go back to the brows. When I'm done setting everything on the face, I go back to the brows. So first of all, I'm using my gel what's the name, the edge control to tame down her brows. Okay, after doing that, I use my powder to set, because I would want it to, you know, set and not give me oils. Okay guys, so then because she's dark skinned, I'm going to be mixing my black gel liner and the Yanga and Esther brow gel. I don't know if you get me. The gel liner that I would have used to line her eyes, that's the black one, and the Yanga and Esther brow gel in the shade I don't remember the shade, but I think it's the second, like it's in the middle, not dark, not too dark, not too light. So that's the shade I'm using. I'm going to be leaving that in the description. So when I mix the both of them together, I'm going to be getting the shade that should match her, because of course the brow tamer could not give me a very dark something. I don't know if you get, yeah, because if I use just that shade of the brow tamer, she's going to be darker than that, or it's going to be her exact shade, and you wouldn't want that. So you want to outline the brows with something that is going to be pronounced. Okay guys, that's why I mixed the both of them together. Now after doing that, after outlining the brows, I begin to fill in, and again my pencil could not fill in something that is dark enough for me, so I'm going to equally be using the mixture that I use for the brows to outline the brows. I'm just going to be putting that in the tip of the brows, while the beginning of the brows I'm going to just be using my pencil to just make strokes, because I wouldn't want the beginning of the brows to be very full and thick, but the tip or the towards the ending, yeah, that place can be thick like you can see, but the beginning of the brows should be like light. It should not be, you know, very very thick, and you shouldn't be having something very very thick and, you know, strong towards that place, because of course your brow does not start with being very very full. Okay guys, so after that I just brushed up, combed up, just to make sure that everything is intact and okay. Yeah, I do this process because I actually want her hairs to be, you know, at a place, and just make sure that there is nothing going to ruin anything for me. Okay guys, so after that I get my concealer in the shade, I think I'm using the shade Nude from Zikel Cosmetics, of course, and I'm using this angled brush or flat brush from Merak. So I use their flat brushes, both in outlining the brows and concealing. I use their brush. Okay guys, so I'm just outlining the brows with that, the concealer, and then this. And for the beginning part of the brows, I'm going to be using the Zikel Cafe that I used when I was concealing her face, when I was, you know, highlighting her face, the darker shade. Yeah, so I'm going to be using that one again for the beginning part of the brows, because I wouldn't want to use something very very light towards that place. Of course I've actually contoured the place up. You guys know I did my contour already, and if I did my contour, so why should I go in with something that is light, that is going to, if I go in with something light, it might be difficult for me to now blend in with the contour. I don't know if I'm making sense, but using something you can actually blend in anyway, but using something darker it will make your job easy. I don't know if it makes sense. Okay guys, so after that I'm going to equally be using the dark shade that I just used, that is the Zikel Cafe. I'm going to be using that as well to outline the upper part of the brows, just running through like nothing serious. I'm just like cleaning it, just as if I'm cleaning. I'm not really doing much or doing the most. Yeah, just cleaning, just to make sure that it's very very highlighted and everything is good, honestly. Okay guys, so after that I have to equally blend. Of course I'm using my brush to blend, and then after blending I'm going to be setting the brows with my powder. I have already explained the reason why I have to set the brows when I'm done before I go back to the eyeshadow, because I want the brows to be seated and not be tempted to, I don't know if I would say spoiled for any reason. I feel like when I set the brows with powder, I have it secured. Yeah, so that even if somebody mistakenly or I mistakenly touch it, concealer will not mix with my brows and doing it for me. So once it's set, it's set. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay guys, so after that I have to go ahead with the cinnamon powder again. That's the Merak Cosmetics powder in the shade Cinnamon. I have to use that and bake the face, because at this point I'm about to do her eyeshadow, and of course I would want to catch fallout, and equally to create this dimension on her face, and equally to brighten the under eyes. Yeah, those are one of the reasons why we have to bake. Yeah, mostly for me is to catch fallout anyway, because that is the only thing I think I might not have control over if I am doing an eyeshadow that is pigmented. So most of the times when I'm doing a look, I'm not even sure yet if I'm going with a pigmented eyeshadow, except if the client actually insisted that I should not. So when I'm doing the look, I might not actually be aware until I started doing it. So I wouldn't want to start then before I go ahead and start baking. So I would rather bake, because this certain powder I just placed for the baking will not stay there for a while. I'm just going to dust it out once I'm done with the eyeshadow. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using my Merak Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. That's the African Queen palette. Yeah, Mostly I use that eyeshadow all the time, guys. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be using the light shade from it to create my transition. That's the light brown shade. I think I should already have these shades of heart, so I can, when I'm making a voiceover, even if I'm not looking at it, I can easily tell you the shades I'm using, because mostly I use all this shade all the time. Okay guys, so after that I'm going in with the one that is a bit darker. I'm just creating that, you know, illusion. Yeah, with the first shade that I created, I'm just coming down a bit. So each time I'm bringing something darker, I'm moving down more. So I'm not going to bring something darker and then go above the first transition I created, because that is going to give me a harsh line that I wouldn't want to keep. I don't know if that makes sense. So as I'm bringing something darker now to, you know, still deepen or darken my crease the more, I'm going to make sure it's down. You can see the place I started placing the first transition. I am not getting to that place again. My placement is coming down. In that way, I'm going to have a flow of transition from something lighter to something darker. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, it's equally possible for you to place something darker and then go above it with something lighter. That is equally possible. Okay guys, so after doing that, I started placing the main eyeshadow. I'm just using a light shade from still the same palette. It's just a light shade, I don't know the names, sorry. And I'm just placing that. This eyeshadow can equally be powder. It's just like powder. I use powder sometimes to create this particular look, so it's still the same thing as powder. And if you use powder, I'm telling you, are going to achieve something pigmented like this. Most of the times powders become even more pigmented than when you are using eyeshadow, except you are using a very good eyeshadow. So sometimes when I want to create something like this look that is very light and natural, I just go with my powder instead, and powder gives me this, you know, nice look or something. Yeah, so when I was done, I have to go back with blending just a dark shade of brown in her under eyes, smudging it out basically. Okay guys, so I'm just smudging out, nothing serious, just to create something there, not as if I was making it to be too serious or too dramatic, because this is a bridal look, it's a white wedding. You wouldn't want anything that is dramatic on her face. Okay guys, so after doing that, I begin to line her eyes with the Merak Cosmetics gel liner. Yeah, the one I mixed with the brows. Yeah, that's one. So I begin to line the eyes with the Merak gel liner, just, you know, just to line, nothing really serious at the end of the day. Yeah, you can line the way you used to line, actually, don't mind me, but like, yeah, I'm going to actually make a video how to line the eyes. Yes guys, so that is it basically. At this point, okay, no, I think the video actually continued. After that, I begin to line the second one. Yeah, the under eyes, sorry, not the second one. I begin to line the under eyes. Yes, but what I wanted to say is that I don't know when at a point my phone storage actually got full or something, and this video stopped recording and I didn't know. So I actually knew just a few minutes from then when it stopped recording. Yeah, I knew. I found out, and then, you know, there's nothing I could do. Okay guys, so after that, when I was done, I fixed my lashes. I don't know if it happened when I fixed the lashes. No, it was not during the lashes. I know when it happened. So after that, I fixed the lashes off camera, and then I begin to remove the excess setting powder from the face. And yeah, my client, she talks too much. Oh, she doesn't talk too much though. This is our wedding day anyway, so she has to really, you know, talk to people. But she's a very lovely person, very lovely person, guys. Okay guys, so after that, I begin to, yeah, I'm dusting out basically the remaining setting powder on her face, and just that. And you know, I'm equally going to keep emphasizing on everything I've done. I'm just re-emphasizing on everything, the blush, the contours, the everything. I just have to go back and redo everything again, because yeah, I'm almost done with the makeup, and I would just want it to be fresh again, just like when I just finished or when I did it. Yeah, so the blush, the powder, the contours, I just have to run through again for everything to be okay. So I think it was at this point, because I have to, you know, set this with setting spray, and then did the liquid blush and did the glow and everything. Those ones was not captured because yeah, that happened, my phone stopped recording. Okay guys, so after that I begin to work on her lips. I'm using the brown shade. I don't think I mix it with anything because my client is really dark, yeah, but I do think I mixed it just a little bit. But she's really dark, and even if I mixed it with something, it should be really mild, because yeah, of course she's dark. You wouldn't want to mix. If you mix it, it might not come out as pronounced as it should, even though the lips that she should wear should not really be pronounced dark, because this is a bridal look. Okay guys, so after doing that, I begin to smudge out, and after smudging out, I place this orange shade just to diffuse the brown. Yeah, so I'm blending it into the brown to diffuse it, because I want the lips to be something very beautiful. And yeah, my client has a very nice smile. Yeah, I think her smile is one of the sweetest I've seen so far, honestly. So, and I was, you know, doing my best to make sure that lips pop out, because it was the lips that is going to give that smile what it should be. Okay guys, so this video equally stopped recording at a place, and I didn't know again, so I added lip gloss and we are done. Guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you love this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, put on your post notification, and see you next time. Bye.